Okay, good evening, everyone. We are on the record. Today is Thursday, the 13th day of May, 2021. This is a regular meeting of the Jersey City Municipal Council. In an effort to adhere to social distancing protocols and best practices imposed by the city and state authorities, the City of Jersey City has canceled all public meetings and closed non-essential services as of March 16th, 2020, until further notice. As a result, this council meeting will be held virtually as a video conference with public access. We had a scheduled 6 p.m. start. The clock on my computer is showing exactly 6 o'clock on the dot. May we have a roll call for the commencement of this meeting? Councilperson Ridley is not here yet. Councilperson Prinzeri.
Here.
Councilperson Baggiano.
Here.
Councilperson Saleh.
Here.
Councilperson Solomon.
Here.
Councilperson Robinson is not here yet. Okay. Councilperson Lavaro.
Here.
Councilperson Rivera.
Here.
And Council President Waterman.
Here.
We have 7 members in attendance at 6 p.m. Can we kindly rise for a moment of silence, please?
Emmanuel Garcia. And Tomasa De Leon.
Norma Berg, wife of Jason Berg.
May they all rest in peace. Thank you very much. Kindly remain standing as we salute the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Council members, if you don't mind just emailing me the names that you stated into the record, so then I can pass that on to our court reporter. I greatly appreciate it with the correct spelling. I'm going to mark Councilperson Ridley present at 6:03 p.m. So we now have 8 council members present at 6:03 p.m. Thank you. On behalf of City Council President Waterman, in accordance with New Jersey Public Laws of 1975, Chapter 231, the Open Public Meetings Act, also known as the Sunshine Law, adequate notice of this meeting has been provided by the posting on the bulletin board of the first floor of City Hall, the annual notice, which is the schedule of meetings and caucuses of the Municipal Council for the calendar year 2021, and filed in the office of the City Clerk on Wednesday, November 12, 2020. In addition, at its time of its preparation, the agenda of this meeting was similarly disseminated on Friday, May 7th, 2021 at 3:40 p.m. to the Municipal Council, Mayor, Business Administrator, Corporation Council, and the local newspapers, and posted on the city's website, so I can certify as to our total compliance with the Sunshine Law. Okay, council members, we're going to go take it from the top. Going on to our first reading ordinances. Item 3.1, ordinance 21-031 has been withdrawn. So we're going to call our attention to item 3.2, City Ordinance 21-032. It's an ordinance of the Municipal Council of the City of Jersey City adopting the Central Avenue Block 2901 redevelopment plan. Item 3.3, City Ordinance 21-033, an ordinance amendments to the Jackson Hill redevelopment plan boundary to include the Sacred Heart campus as part of the historic neighborhood mixed-use zone and incorporate inclusionary zoning requirements. Item 3.4, City Ordinance 21-034 has been withdrawn. Item 3.5, City Ordinance 21-035, an ordinance of the Municipal Council of the City of Jersey City adopting amendments to the Jersey Avenue Light Rail redevelopment plan regarding overlay bonuses, affordable housing, and school development bonuses, and general update to the standards and regulations. And lastly, item 3.6, City Ordinance 21-036, an ordinance adopting amendments to the Land Development Ordinance regarding applications, checklist, notice, waste management, review, procedure, and hearing requirements. Council members, I'm going to be taking a vote. We're not voting on 3.1 or 3.4. They have been withdrawn. So we're going from 3.2 to 3.6 with the exception of 3.4. Councilperson Ridley.
Aye for introduction.
Before I move on with the vote, I'm going to mark Councilperson Robinson present at 6:05 PM. So we now have all 9 council members present at 6:05 PM. Okay, back to the vote on items 3.2 through 3.6 with the exception of 3.4, which has been withdrawn, and 3.1 has been withdrawn. Councilperson Prinzary.
I'll be voting aye for introduction, but for 3.5, just also with the understanding that some of the requests of the resident council will be heard and considered. I don't know that it going into the ordinance is the appropriate place, but maybe through some sort of a memorandum of understanding.
Okay. Councilperson Baggiano.
Aye.
Councilperson Saleh.
Aye for introduction.
Councilperson Solomon.
Echoing my colleague, Councilman Prinzary, aye for introduction and continue to work on the concerns raised by the residents' council.
Councilperson Robinson.
Aye for the introduction.
Councilperson Lavaro. I believe you're on mute, Councilperson Lavaro. We can't hear you. Is the volume on your computer up? Can you try to say something now with your mic on? Yeah, I'm going to have Bernadette give you a call because something is not correct, okay? Thank you. We'll come back to you, Councilperson Lavaros. Councilperson Rivera
I vote aye.
and Council President Waterman.
I vote aye.
Okay, before we move on, we're going to try to get Councilperson Lavaro's microphone. It's not working at this point. We're going to try to get his microphone up and running. And if we can't, we can just we can get him into the meeting by dialing in. Councilperson Lavaro, if you're listening, if you can dial in with your phone to the invite that you have, if there's an actual phone number where you can call in and we can hear you through that. You could just keep your speaker muted so then there's no feedback. I think that would be the easiest way to get you through at this point. And there's a confirmation number that you would have to put in. You can call from your city phone if you're in your office.
Or Councilman, you can come in here. We're neighbors.
Or it could be a possibility if you go out and come back in, sometime that helps.
I don't know if that's going to help him
Yeah.
because it seems like it could be a monitor issue.
Got you.
Director Bernadette working overtime. She just helped me get in. I'm actually here at my office, and I'm gonna work from the office up here at 3 Jackson Square.
Nice.
And I was here since 5:30 working with her trying to get in.
There you go. But it's good because, you know, again, it's kudos to Bernadette and the and also, you know, the rest of the team, John, Amanda, and Marlene. Without those individuals, you know, they do all the hard work behind the scenes, and kudos to them.
Yeah, you guys are amazing.
Thank you, guys. Remember when Bernadette was working on her birthday
Yeah,
during the city council meeting?
and actually, John Hallinan did the same thing as well.
My man John.
Dedication. That's dedication at its finest, right?
Yep.
Today, Uncle Rich's birthday.
Is it?
No way.
No, Rich, what's today?
What?
You
So
telling
then
me?
It's not your birthday, Councilman
No,
Foggiano? No?
no way.
There was a rumor going around that it was your birthday today.
Yeah, that's Jermaine spreading rumors.
We're gonna have to
Yeah.
send the cake with the 29 candles home.
We appreciate your patience, ladies and gentlemen, everyone who's watching.
Excuse me a second. My dog is barking.
Councilperson Lavarro, were you able to get that call-in number from the invite? You give me a thumbs up if you could see it on your invite. If you go to your calendar on Microsoft Teams, you can just click on the invite and there'll be a telephone number where you can dial in, and then there's a confirmation number that you have to put in after you dial in that number.
In the house, come on.
I know Councilperson Lavarro has some comments to make, and that's why I don't want to move on to the second readings. I just want to make sure he gets his mic working before we move on. I really appreciate Council President and all the council members and ladies and gentlemen who are watching at home, your patience. Really appreciate it. Can Marlene or John try to get Councilperson Lavarro on the phone? Maybe that would work.
Yeah, that's true.
It looks like he signed off, so maybe he's going to sign back in.
Oh, okay. All right.
We'll give it a minute.
The Teams app doesn't appear to have access to his microphone for some reason. I'm going to try to continue to research it, but in the meantime, he said he was going to try to get his laptop up.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Bernadette. Okay, so the Councilperson Lavarro is trying to get his laptop up and running, and while he's doing that, we'll just have a little bit of a pause here. Again, if I can just ask the council members who gave us names for the moment of silence, if you could just email me those names and the correct spelling so I can provide that to the court reporter, I greatly appreciate it.
Okay.
Okay, here comes Councilperson Lavarro.
Can you hear me?
Yes, all right, we're good to go. All right, so Councilperson Lavarro, we're voting on the first reading ordinances with the exception of 3.1 and 3.4, which have been withdrawn. So we're going on 3.2, 3.3, 3.5, and 3.6.
Okay, I don't have my agenda up. Can you put up on the screen?
Amanda, can you share your screen and just put the ordinances by title up on the screen, please?
Okay. So just on voting yes for introduction, 3.2, did get some feedback there from some residents and participants who in the 2019 community meetings around that, and had some feedback there, and I've encouraged them, Council, as well as the other at-larges, and the planning department as well, to convey some of the changes. I will share some of the feedback I've gotten as well on that. let's see, on 3.3, there was an inquiry, which I'll share with planning as well as the council president and the members of the council regarding the historic nature of the Sacred Heart campus and the Landmark Conservancy having some questions in relation to that plan. And then on 3.5, I'll echo what's been said. We need to address the concerns, and I see that there's been a lot of communication. I haven't kept up with it since the initial kind of communications around that, but any changes or amendments that we can make, whether it be with the plan or by other mechanisms to address the concerns of the housing residents at Holland Gardens, we need to make sure that that's taken care of before we should adopt any amendments to the Jersey Avenue Light Rail. That being said, I vote aye for introduction on all.
Okay, thank you very much. So items 3.2 through 3.6, with the exception of 3.4, are introduced unanimously 9-0. On to our second reading ordinances. Before I go on to the second reading ordinances, members of the public, this is the opportunity to speak on each of the 3 second reading ordinances. What we ask you to do is to contact me through the live event Q&A by providing your full name and telephone number, and we will patch you through the meeting if you wish to be heard on the public hearing on any of the 3 second reading ordinances. Okay, with that being said, item 4.1, City Ordinance 21-028, an ordinance authorizing the City of Jersey City as a tenant to extend for 1 year a lease with 18 Ash Realty as landlord for space located at 46 State Street in Jersey City. This is a public hearing on this ordinance. Any member of the public wishing to be heard, please provide me with your full name and telephone number through the live event Q&A, and we will patch you through the meeting. Okay, this is the last call for the public hearing on City Ordinance 21-028. Any member of the public wishing to be heard, please provide me with your full name and telephone number through the live event Q&A, and we will patch you through the meeting. Okay, council members, no one has contacted me through the live event Q&A. May I have a motion to close the public hearing on City Ordinance 21-028?
Motion.
Second.
Motion made by Councilperson Rivera, seconded by Councilperson Saleh. On the motion to close the public hearing on City Ordinance 21-028, Councilperson Ridley.
Aye.
Councilperson Prinzary.
Aye.
Councilperson Baggiano.
Aye.
Councilperson Saleh.
Aye.
Councilperson Solomon.
Aye.
Councilperson Robinson.
Aye.
Councilperson Labarro.
Aye.
Councilperson Rivera.
Aye.
And Council President Waterman.
Aye.
Motion carries 9-0 to close the public hearing on City Ordinance 21-028. For final consideration and adoption of City Ordinance 21-028, Councilperson Ridley.
Aye.
Councilperson Prinzary.
Aye.
Councilperson Baggiano.
Aye.
Councilperson Saleh.
Aye.
Councilperson Solomon.
Aye.
Councilperson Robinson.
Aye.
Councilperson Lavarro.
Aye.
Councilperson Rivera.
Aye.
and Council President Waterman.
Aye.
City Ordinance 21-028 is adopted unanimously 9-0. On to our next second reading ordinance, item 4.2, City Ordinance 21-029, an ordinance supplementing Chapter 332, Vehicles and Traffic, Article 2, Traffic Regulations, amending Section 332-9, stop intersections, designating 13th Street and Monmouth Street as an all-way stop control intersection. This is a public hearing on this ordinance. Any member of the public wishing to be heard, please provide me with your full name and telephone number through the live event Q&A, and we will patch you through the meeting. Okay, this is the last call on the public hearing on City Ordinance 21-029. Any member of the public wishing to be heard, please provide me with your full name and telephone number through the live event Q&A, and we will patch you through the meeting.
Yes, last month. Muslims.
Okay, council members, no one has contacted me through the live event Q&A, so may I have a motion to close the public hearing on City Ordinance 21-029?
Motion.
Oof.
Second.
I'm going to give that motion to Councilperson Prinzary, and I'm going to give the loud second to Councilperson Robinson. On the motion to close the public hearing on City Ordinance 21-029, Councilperson Ridley.
Aye.
Councilperson Prinzary.
Aye.
Councilperson Baggiano.
Aye.
Councilperson Saleh.
Aye.
Councilperson Solomon.
Aye.
Councilperson Robinson.
Aye.
Councilperson Lavaro.
Aye.
Councilperson Rivera.
Aye.
And Council President Waterman.
Aye.
Motion carries 9-0 to close the public hearing on City Ordinance 21-029 for final consideration and adoption of City Ordinance 21-029. Councilperson Ridley.
Aye.
Councilperson Prinzary.
Aye.
Councilperson Baggiano.
Aye.
Councilperson Saleh.
Aye.
Councilperson Solomon.
Aye.
Councilperson Robinson.
Aye.
Councilperson Lavaro.
Aye.
Councilperson Rivera.
Aye.
And Council President Waterman.
Aye.
City Ordinance 21-029 is adopted unanimously 9-0. On to our last second reading ordinance, item 4.3, City Ordinance 21-030. It's an ordinance establishing the Jersey City Arts and Cultural Trust Fund Committee and distribution of funds. This is a public hearing on this ordinance. Any member of the public wishing to be heard, please provide me with your full name and telephone number through the live event Q&A, and we will patch you through the meeting. I believe we have our first speaker on the call. If you can identify yourself for the record, please.
Yvonne Walser.
Okay, Yvonne, your time is going to start on my countdown. You're going in 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, I have read this ordinance, and in Section C, which is responsibilities, there's a subtitle called B. And B says, the first line, the Arts and Cultural Trust Fund has the duty to review, prioritize and evaluate projects. Not to read the whole thing, but basically speaking, I brought this up before. There is nothing in this ordinance that stops someone receiving money in which they do a drawing or an art or whatever it is, attacking religion. And I asked to have that in this ordinance because I don't want my tax dollars to go to attack my faith, but being very honest, I wouldn't want to attack anyone's faith. And I think that if you're going to use my tax dollars and put it on me, then that should be in there. Because I know what I have seen traveling around Jersey City. I have seen things that I have considered blasphemous, such as the Virgin Mary with a gun and a knife in her hand on art. Now, I don't know if that was city's funds or whatever it is, but I don't want to see that. And I really wish this would be tightened up. We should not be having something like this and where someone who, for some reason, hate religion, receiving my tax dollars to attack my religion. And this is too open-ended, and there's nothing in there to stop that. And the one thing that causes people problems, let me tell you something. If I was to see that, I will contact the Archdiocese of Newark, and I'll make this a big sting if my tax dollars were to be used for that reason. And I don't think Jersey City wants that on there. So somewhere along the line, I'm asking you to tighten up C, subsection B, on prioritizing and evaluating projects. That's all I have to say. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. This is still a public hearing on City Ordinance 21-030. I believe we have our next speaker on the line. If you can identify yourself for the record, please.
Yes, my name is Jean Daly.
Okay, Jean, your time is going to start on my countdown. You're going in 3, 2, 1, go.
Good evening, everyone. Sean was kind enough to forward you a document that was supposed to be for the Performing Art District that we had. And specifically, I'd ask for everyone to read through 23 to 33. The reason I state that is because we have new art funding that's going to be disseminated. And I'm just wondering if any of the provisions that were outlined in the document I sent about the Padma, whatever, are going to be come to fruition with this tax and this Arts Council and how that's going to play out, because so much was lost. And I'm curious if this tax will ever be enough to cover what was lost and was required by this city, but somehow disappeared under this administration, regarding the Powerhouse Arts District redevelopment plan. Housing was supposed to be there, shops, galleries, affordable housing for artists. It was supposed to be a thriving artist community that, poof, disappeared under this administration. And I'm just curious if any of that is going to be restored, how it would be restored by this particular tax, by this particular council and board, the appointed board, however. And it just once again causes concern that we've had so many promises for these artists, and yet nothing comes to fruition. So therefore, another taxes are heaved upon the community when we actually have this stuff written into our own ordinances and our own redevelopment plans that we somehow don't seem to follow. So again, kindly ask you to read that document, pages, especially pages 23 to 33. That vanished. And I'm just concerned that the funding for this is going to vanish, not vanish, but going to be used for different purposes. And I'm just still very disappointed that the Performing Art District, which was supposed to be put there, was completely ignored in favor of big developers. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. This is still a public hearing on City Ordinance 21-030. Any member of the public wishing to be heard, please provide me with your full name and telephone number through the live event Q&A, and we will patch you through the meeting. Okay, this is the last call on the public hearing on City Ordinance 21-030. Any member of the public wishing to be heard, please provide me with your full name and telephone number through the live event Q&A, and we will patch you through the meeting. Okay, council members, no one else has contacted me through the live event Q&A, so may I have a motion to close the public hearing on City Ordinance 21-030?
Motion.
Second.
Motion made by Councilperson Saleh, seconded by Councilperson Prince Airy. On the motion to close the public hearing on City Ordinance 21-030, Councilperson Ridley.
Aye.
Councilperson Prince Airy.
Aye.
Councilperson Baggiano.
Aye. Aye.
Saleh.
Aye.
Councilperson Saleh.
Aye.
Councilperson Solomon.
Aye.
Councilperson Robinson.
Aye.
Councilperson Navarro.
This is to close the public hearing, correct?
Correct.
Okay. I just want to make a comment, if I may, about unrelated to everything here. But I had an inquiry made to me about about me wearing a mask, and I am in my office. And just for the record, that city's policy is that in your shared office space, and I'm with my aide who's in the office as well. I'm fully vaccinated as well. So, but our policy here in the city is that if you're in a shared space to continue doing mask wearing. So that's what I'm doing. That being said, I vote aye to close.
Thank you, Councilperson Rivera.
I vote aye.
And Council President Waterman.
Aye.
Motion to close the public hearing on City Ordinance 21-030 carries 9-0. For final consideration and adoption of City Ordinance 21-030, Councilperson Ridley.
Aye.
Councilperson Prince Airy.
Just briefly, I just want to take a moment to thank Director of Cultural Affairs Christine Goodman, Vernon Richardson from the Mayor's Office, the Jersey City Arts Council, in particular Heather and McAdam. We've been meeting for months now to get these different components in place to get the arts tax set up to be distributed. And I just want to thank you guys for your hard work, and also the members of the arts community that have been attending our monthly meetings. Your input has been invaluable in this process. With that, I vote aye.
Councilperson Baggiano.
I vote aye, but I also want everybody on the council to remember what Yvonne Balsa said, because that's very important.
Councilperson Saleh.
Want to echo Councilwoman Mira Prince Airy's statement regarding all the people involved, Director Christine Goodman, Vernon Richardson, the community, and I hope that there's a collaborative approach when it comes to the art and the different types of pieces that are selected to be put in the neighborhood, and that respect all faiths and cultures. And with that, I vote aye.
Councilperson Solomon.
Aye.
Councilperson Robinson.
Aye.
Councilperson Navarro.
Aye.
Councilperson Rivera.
Aye.
And Council President Waterman.
Aye.
City Ordinance 21-030 is adopted unanimously, 9-0. Okay, members of the public, council members, council president, we are now moving on to our public request for a hearing. This is the time on where we're going to be going down and calling individuals as they are listed on the agenda. And this is the time for the members of the public to be by your phone, your cell phone, or whatever phone that we're calling you on, because we're only going to make the call once. And if you don't answer, it goes to voicemail. We're going to skip to the next speaker. With that being said, I am going to turn the meeting over to my assistant municipal clerk, who loves to call the speakers' names and does a great job with it. So I'm going to turn it over to Amanda.
Hi, good evening. We're getting our first speaker on the line.
I'm right here.
Hi, Yvonne. Your time is going to start in 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, hi. My name is Yvonne Bolser. I want to thank the administration for giving me the list, the answer to my questions on Bayfront. I received it yesterday. I do have some follow-up. When I asked about taxes being evaded, the question was, we do not have this information at this time. So, I mean, we're looking at the Board of Ed raising taxes for the average homeowner about $1,000. If you live downtown, let's make that $2,000. And the city right now is saying we do not have the information as whether or not that will be tax baited. Even if the city was to say, we're going to give all of this money to the Board of Ed, that's not going to help as we go up every year over a 7-year period. It doesn't help the average person because my taxes will go up. I'm not in rent control and I'm not in affordable housing. So I am really upset that that statement is so open-ended. The other question I had is whether or not this is open up to the public. Will it be, I like to see Jersey City residents get there first, but it's just too open-ended. And I know for a fact, because I did a lot of voter registration since the early 90s, and I know that majority of the people who live in all of the affordable housing are not Jersey City residents, and a number of them are not even American citizens. I know that for a fact. So if there's a problem with affordable housing, perhaps the problem is we're not putting in Jersey City residents who were, born and bred here, or at least been here for a number of years. And the other issue that I asked for is who will pay for the school? And it was said to me that the school is not included in this phase of the construction. Well, when will it be included? And the bottom line is, who's going to pay for it? Because I looked on the city's website in the budget, and we have a lot of money in debt on school funding. I had it up. I'm not going to bring it up now, but I had it before, and it's a lot of money. The city's debt and the school debt is enormous. So, I mean, for you to, I'm not, if for the city council to vote on this while having these things addressed, I'm sorry, that's irresponsible. It really is. We should know who's going to pay for that school, and to have most of my answers were the only thing that was actually answered is they said Kellogg Street has been fixed, the flooding, and they're working on the other. Well, I really hope so, but I know people who live on West Side, and they're flooded whenever there's heavy rain, and this has been going on now. And West Side is further away from Hackensack, from that area, than where Bayfront's going to be at. Okay, thank you. I'll get back to you about this later. Bye.
Thank you. Okay, we have our next speaker on deck. Can you state your name for the record, please?
Yes, my name is Jean Daly.
Okay, Jean, your time is going to start on my countdown. You're going in 3, 2, 1, go.
Thank you so much. I'm bringing up a different article that was forwarded to you earlier by myself, via Sean. In this regard to a New York Post article, which is basically about Harborside and Mac Cali and how they're reinventing themselves for their own personal corporate gain. Now, you have to remember that aside from Harborside downtown, they also have a number of residential buildings in that very area. And what's extremely disconcerting is that it's even more proof that this whole idea of closing off Exchange Place Plaza, which is our plaza, this is where we hold the entire city's cultural events. We celebrate together in that area. Why? Because it's beautiful. It's by the water. There's always a nice breeze. You get to see the city, during the sunset, what have you. And it's a larger gathering space. It's not that we're funneled into streets or what have you. You can have a stage. You can have, parade, all these different things, food booths, whatever. And I'm extremely disappointed that I've yet to hear from my own councilman regarding this matter. And that, in fact, in crowing about this in the Post article, I intimate that, like, Mac Cali is the one responsible for a pedestrian plaza that's going to be an exchange place with a beer garden going into exchange place. Now, is this beer garden going to be the reincarnation of the Lutz Beer Garden, which is owned by Michael DeMarco and is also part of the Mac Cali Hospitality Group, and other fun events? This is really disconcerting, and I really urge everyone to look at this article, and I want answers from somebody. I don't know why it's a dead as a doornail issue. You ask questions, you get nothing back, which means, in my mind, deceit through and through, whether it's Council President Joyce Waterman, who sits on the Exchange Place Alliance board, or if it's not getting answers from my own council person, James Solomon. What is being hid? That's what I say. What are you hiding? You are not servicing the people of Jersey City and our longtime residents who always gathered there. You're you're using that area for Mac Cali, a private building, private corporation, and then you're going to give two other private corporations their own private drives, a private roadway just for them, cutting through Exchange Place Plaza. Now, I'm really, you've heard me a million times. I can't say how many times I've been sick of this, because I am. But why is there no response?
Jean?
Thank you so much. I hear the bell, the buzzer, or the beep. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. Our next.
Clerk,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Is it possible for me to just very briefly clarify something there?
Sure.
Sorry. So, thank you, Council President. Just to Jean's point, and I know there may be other speakers on this. The proposal that was in the New York Post is not for Exchange Place, it's for Hudson Street. And it was done through Mac Cali, not through the Exchange Place Alliance. And Hudson Street is a private street, so it is owned by Mac Cali. So it is being done through their, their prerogative, so to speak. So I just want to clarify, it's not Exchange Place that's being closed off. It's Hudson Street, and that it's a private street, not a city street.
Thank you.
Sure.
Okay, our next speaker, 5.3, declined to speak. We're moving on to 5.4. Christopher, are you on the line?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, can you state your full name for the record, please?
Hey, everyone, this is Chris Perez.
Okay, I'm going to give you a countdown in 3, 2, 1, go.
Awesome, thank you. Good evening, everyone. This is Chris Perez. This evening, I'm calling in on behalf of the Jersey City Landmarks Conservancy as the president of the organization. Today was the first reading of an ordinance to add the entire Sacred Heart Church campus on Martin Luther King Drive in Greenville to the Jackson Hill Redevelopment Plan area. And we wanted to take this moment to make sure that we inform the City Council and the public on this meeting of the historic significance of the Sacred Heart Church structure. The interior of Sacred Heart Church is historically significant. The interior and exterior are both equally significant. And the Landmarks Conservancy wants to ensure that both the interior and the exterior of the church are preserved. The Spanish Gothic masterwork was designed by the world eminent architect, Ralph Adams Cram. Sacred Heart was Cram's only city church building in New Jersey. And it all came together in 1924 at the absolute height of the arts and crafts movement and the pinnacle of the final great age of cathedral building. Cram's towering achievements include the nave of the Cathedral of St. John the Divine in Manhattan and the Gothic Revival buildings at Princeton University and the St. Thomas Church on Fifth Avenue in Manhattan. Cram only designed Protestant churches, but made the exception for the Irish Catholics of Greenville. The Dominion Friars of Sacred Heart convinced Cram to take on this project. Sacred Heart Church is pivotal to Cram's portfolio of Gothic Revival buildings because it was inspired by his 1921 trip to southern Spain. While he was on that voyage, he began his drawings for designing Sacred Heart Church. The interior of the church is what of utmost concern to us. Of Sacred Heart Church is a vision of South Spain with elements of Moroccan architecture, featuring secret alcoves and altars throughout, shrines separated by giant wrought iron screens, and woodwork carved by masters of their trade. The interior was completed with sublime medieval-style cathedral glass, crafted between 1924 and 1953. The interior of this church is a Spanish Gothic masterpiece, unsurpassed anywhere in New Jersey. We want to make sure that the City Council and the public is aware of how important the interior of this church is, because historically, preservation efforts focus really on the facades of buildings. But in this particular instance, we just want to stress how important the interior of this church is. We don't know exactly what the future plans are for the community space inside, but we need to be very careful that we do not rip apart the interior of this church. So once again, the Landmarks Conservancy just wanted to bring this to your attention so that in the future, when the owner pursues a site plan application, that these facts are taken into consideration. Thank you very much for your time. Have a good evening.
Thank you, Christopher. We have our next speaker on the line, 5.5. Can you take your name for the record, please?
Krystyna Piórkowska.
Okay, I'm going to give you a countdown. You can start in 3, 2, 1, go.
Council members, I know that Mr. Solomon has spoken, but I would like to read my statement. I'd also hope that you were able to look at the attachments that I included, the renderings of the proposed Exchange Place quote-unquote park, as well as the Google Maps eye view of Hudson Street, which shows that there's absolutely no place there on the eastern side of Hudson Street unless you're going to have a string of tables one after another lined up. As you recall, the Exchange Place Alliance claimed to the City Council, including the CID's boards of directors, that Exchange Place would become a green sward, a park with a children's playground. Certainly during several meetings of the CID, there was mention of the fact that there would be a cafe. The structure it would be located in doesn't appear on the EPA CID plans, which are included, because those are the only plans we've got. There's been verbal discussion of it and nothing else. So we go back to the idea of the statement. The eastern side of Hudson Street will be turned into a pedestrian plaza with seating. Now, if something's being turned into a pedestrian plaza with seating, it needs to be voted on by the City Council. The sidewalk does not belong to Matt Calley, and so it cannot become a beer garden. We've been asking you, Mr. Solomon, since, 8 months, 9 months, for a meeting. You've promised to bring us on board to have a meeting and a walkthrough with tape measures. If we had that chalked out on the street meeting or on the surface of the Exchange Place meeting, maybe there wouldn't be all these questions. And I'm just wondering, don't the residents of Jersey City, not just your constituents, have a right to know what actually is going to be planned there? In April, I said to this council, in all reality, you are handing over the demolition of Exchange Place to a third party, and you are not verifying how and what they are doing. An open plaza belonging to the city will become a hotel and a private building driveway, eliminating 30% of the plaza from the purported public use that some of you think that you are endorsing. 30% of the plaza being handed over to use as a driveway. Members of the council, as you are all aware, I have asked the director of the Exchange Place Alliance, Sid, because you've been copied on those emails, to post all plans and applications on the SID webpage. I did not receive an answer to last week's email, and I have not received one to the recent request. Ms. Waterman, you agreed to that process. When will you act upon it?
Thank you. Your time is up.
Yes, I finished.
Okay, thank you. You can hang up so we can go to the next caller. Okay, we have our next caller on the line, 5.6. If you can state your name for the record, please.
My name is Danielle Walker.
Okay, Danielle, your time is going to start on my countdown in 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, thank you and good evening, everyone. My name is Danielle Walker and I am a native of Holland Gardens in the downtown Jersey City area. As you all know, our neighborhood is in the process of being redeveloped, and in the early stages that now exist, we as a tenants association, which basically encompasses all of the residents of Holland Gardens, would like some clarification on a number of issues preparing for the redevelopment process. So at this time, we are seeking clarification on the language of the right to return. We are also looking for more tenant resident representation on the RFP committee. And we also would like a clearer understanding and accommodation rather for the one-to-one replacement. Many of us, whether new, lifelong, or anywhere in between, residents of Holland do see that community and that area, that location as home. We've remained there for many years, decades, and scores, and so we just did not want any other possible design, whereas we're not able to return, because we've seen with other sites that residents usually get transplanted from one site to another. We would like to remain in the neighborhood that we basically sustained for many years before all of this aggressive gentrification has taken place, and we're hoping that you could support us in any way that you could moving forward when it comes to just overall transparency and full inclusion for Holland Gardens residents. And that's basically all I have to say right now. I don't need the full 3 minutes. So thank you.
Ms. Walker,
Yes.
could you reach out to my office so I could set up a meeting with the tenant association, the tenant council, and also with the director of Holland Gardens, so you can get clarity on this issue? Because I know I was there at a couple of meetings and there were certain things that what you're asking was giving clarity. So I'm trying to understand why everyone don't have clarity. Maybe, you know, sometimes things get lost, sometimes people don't understand it, but I'm just trying to get you clarity. So just reach out to my office and I'll make sure that there's a meeting with the tenant council so you guys can get clarity, because I know based on the way your guidelines is, the tenant council have to vote for certain things. It just can't be done.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, definitely. Thank you.
Thank
Yes,
you.
definitely. All right. Good evening. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Amanda. Great job. All right, we're moving on to our petitions and communications. Any questions or comments on items 6.1 through 6.21?
And wait, one more thing, and Councilman Solomon, I'll make sure you there at that meeting.
Yeah.
Councilman Solomon gave a thumbs up, just for the record. All right. Any questions or comments on Officer Communications 7.1 through 7.4? And our report of directors 8.1. Any questions or comments? And we're moving on to our claims and addendum number 1. So we have our claims and addendum number 1. Councilperson Ridley.
Aye.
Councilperson Prinzary.
Aye.
Councilperson Baggiano.
Sorry, I was on mute. Aye.
Very good, thank you. Councilperson Saleh,
Aye.
Councilperson Solomon,
Aye.
thank you. Councilperson Robinson,
Aye.
Councilperson Navarro,
Aye.
Councilperson Rivera,
Aye.
and Council President Waterman.
Aye.
Claims in addendum number 1 are approved unanimously, 9-0. Okay, on to our resolutions. Council members, I'm taking a vote on items 10.1 through 10.14. Again, that's items 10.1 through 10.14. Councilperson Ridley.
Aye.
Councilperson Prinzary.
Aye for all.
Councilperson Baggiano.
Aye.
Councilperson Saleh.
Aye.
Councilperson Solomon.
Aye.
Councilperson Robinson.
Aye.
Councilperson Navarro.
John, just a question, and if I missed the email, my apologies. 21-348, was that just an error in terms of the numbers?
Yes, Councilman, and it was sorry, my camera's not working. Yes, Councilman, it was updated in the iCompass, so there should be a corresponding link with that.
Should be corrected on the real system right now, on the system right now?
Correct, sir.
Okay. 1014. Aye for all.
Thank you, Councilperson Rivera.
Aye.
And Council President Waterman.
Aye.
Resolutions 10.1 through 10.14 are approved unanimously, 9-0. Okay, council members, on to items 10.15 through 10.24. Again, that's items 10.15 through 10.24. Councilperson Ridley.
Aye.
Councilperson Prinzary.
Aye for all.
Councilperson Baggiano.
Aye.
Councilperson Saleh.
Aye.
Councilperson Solomon.
Aye.
Councilperson Robinson.
Aye.
Councilperson Navarro.
I'm getting a bad signal. So I hope you can hear me.
We can hear you, sir.
Seems like my screen is frozen, but hopefully you're still hearing me. On 10.15, I just want to comment that that parking lot, just to reiterate, it's a wreck. Moon crater is literally on there, and that work needs to be done on that. On 10.16, I want to thank Director Moody and Deputy Chief Flora and Captain Ortiz for taking time to speak to me about this. And the contract that will ultimately be awarded here. And so just for the record, I want to get it on the record here, is that the conversation I had with them was that in developing, updating our policies and procedures for the Jersey City Police Department, that they look to involve and engage the committee that was established to examine use of force policies, and that they be incorporated into the process here of updating the policies and procedures for Jersey City. There was some question in my conversation with them as to when that could occur and at what point in the process. And so when that contract comes before us, hopefully we can get even greater clarification on that as to when that when the committee could be involved and engaged in that process. On that, let's just give me a second, still going through here. On 21-365 or 10.18 and 10.19 and 10.20, the effective date, as I said, was January 1st on these. I'm going to vote no on those as a result. And Sean, can you hear me? Are you able to? My screen looks frozen.
Yes, Councilperson LeVar, I can hear you, and you're voting no on 10.18, 19, and 20.
Yep. Where are we going to?
To 10.24.
10 point what?
So we're going from 10.15 to 10.24.
1024, okay.
Yes, sir.
And I just want to point out on 10.24 that it's also very, very late, but I'm going to vote yes on that because it's a local vendor. And I'm not looking to make a point on our few and far between local vendors, and I'll vote yes on all the rest.
Okay.
As well.
Thank you. Councilperson Rivera.
Aye.
And Council President Waterman.
I vote aye, but I want to say this concerning to some of these contracts. And when we were in January, February, remember, a lot of the city was shut down. And so a lot of things did get pushed back because people weren't working. Then we was trying to get people to work at home. It's been a challenge. So I know why, you know, some of these things are pushed back. So I just want us to be conscious of that because, you know, we were in COVID and things just wasn't working right. We just starting to come out of it and hopefully we can get caught up. All right. So with that, I vote aye.
Okay, thank you very much. If I can just recap, items 10.15 through 10.17 are approved 9-0. Item 10.18 through 10.20 are approved 8-1, with Councilperson Navarro voting no on 18, 19, and 20. Items 10.21 through 10.24 are approved 9-0. Okay, on to our next batch of resolutions. I'm going to be taking a vote on items 10.25 through 10.34. Again, that's items 10.25 through 10.34. Councilperson Ridley.
Aye.
Councilperson Prinzary.
Aye for all.
Councilperson Baggiano.
Aye.
Councilperson Saleh.
Aye.
Councilperson Solomon.
Aye.
Councilperson Robinson.
Yes, just on 10.31, I just want to thank the team for, you know, pushing the ball down the court just a little bit further. 10 and 12, engine 10, I think ladder 12 has been closed for some time now, and trying to get that a new firehouse down there with all the new construction that's going on in the community. I think it's very important that we keep pushing this further and further along, and the sooner it happens, the better. So thank you to the team for, you know, getting that done and keep pushing. Hopefully we'll have a new firehouse down there really soon here in Ward F. So thank you, and I vote aye for all.
Thank you. Councilperson Navarro. You're on mute, Councilperson.
Sorry about that.
Okay.
Yep. So on 10.25, I guess it is, that's the start, right?
Yes.
I'm going to vote no on 10.25. The effective start date was January 28th. That particular contract. And then on 10.33, the effective start date was January 1st, but I'm going to vote yes because this is the payroll litigation. And again, that's important to on the payroll tax litigation to keep it moving forward. I'm not looking to make a point on that one. And I vote yes on all the rest.
I'm sorry, Councilperson LeVar, are you voting no on 10.33?
No, I'm voting yes on 10.33. I just wanted on the record to be noted that the effective start date was January 1st,
Okay,
2021.
so the only one you're voting no on is 10.25 and aye on all the rest.
Correct.
Thank you so much. Councilperson Rivera.
Aye.
And Council President Waterman.
Aye.
Okay, if I can just recap, item 10.25 is approved 8-1, with Councilperson LeVar voting no. Items 10.26 through 10.34 are approved unanimously 9-0. Okay, council members, on to the balance of our resolutions. So we are going from items 10.35 through 10.43. Again, that's items 10.35 through 10.43. Councilperson Ridley.
Aye.
Councilperson Prinzary.
Aye for all.
Councilperson Bajiano.
Aye.
Councilperson Saleh.
Aye.
Councilperson Solomon.
Aye.
Councilperson Robinson.
Aye.
Councilperson Navarro.
Aye for all.
Councilperson Rivera.
I vote aye, but I just want to make a point with respect to Martucci Field. Well, wait, I just lost it. Just stand by 1 minute.
1039, Councilman.
Yeah, 10:39. Yeah, I just want to make sure that I know I spoke about it on the caucus meeting, but I just wanted to make sure that it's artificial turf, because here it just states that it's just turf replacement. So I just want to make sure that it's artificial turf that's going there. You can get that to me later on, right, John?
If I'm not mistaken, Councilperson Rivera, I believe that Brian Weller did indicate at the caucus that it was artificial turf, but we'll definitely confirm that with him through the.
Okay.
I'll get it in writing for you, Councilman.
Thanks. I vote aye.
Thank you. And Council President Waterman.
I vote aye.
Thank you. Just to recap, items 10.35 through 10.43 are approved unanimously, 9-0. Okay.
Motion.
I have a motion to adjourn at 7:08 p.m. I'm sorry, the second was made by
Prinzary.
I didn't get to look up quick enough. You were quick, and I like it. So we have a motion to adjourn at 7:08 p.m. by Councilperson Rivera, seconded by Councilperson Prinzary. All in favor of the motion to adjourn at 7:08 p.m. All council members present by acclamation, please say aye.
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 We are out of here at 7:08 p.m. Thank you so much.
Everybody.
Thank you so much, Council President, council members, all professionals, and all the people behind the scenes. Thank you so much for all your hard work and the hours that you put in. It doesn't go unappreciated. And also, members of the public, thank you for your patience during the beginning of the meeting. And remember, we are still fighting this pandemic together. Please remember to mask up, keep your social distance, get those vaccinations done, and together we will get through this. We're almost there, but we have a lot of work to do. So with that being said, teamwork makes the dream work. Have a great night. Please stay safe. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Night.